Today we're going to give a seasonal twist to the most beloved carbonara. So this is my favorite adaptation of the classic carbonara using seasonal asparagus. The ingredients are very similar to the one of the carbonara, so we have some pecorino romano. We're going to add some parmigiano reggiano to make it a little bit sweeter. We're going to have pancetta instead of guanciale. Pancetta is the little belly of the pig, similarly cured to the guanciale, which instead is the cheek of the pig and is what traditionally is used in Rome. Then we're going to have eggs, a smidget of extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, and this beautiful seasonal asparagus. Because of course from March we start getting asparagus. This we got from the market. They are nice and thin and tender, and with the carbonara, they're delicious. So we're making this for 2 people. So 1 handful for one handful for the second person. So you want to take away this white bottom bit. It's hard, we don't need it. And everything else, you want to make it into thin little rolls like this. This will cook very quickly once we put it in the pan. And then we're going to leave some of the tips intact like this. These are going to act like beautiful garnish for the dish. Step number 2, we take the guanciale. Look how beautiful the fat and the meat. You can see already that it's quite warm today, so it's starting to release some of the fat. This is absolutely amazing. So 2 people, we're gonna put 2, well, actually, let's do 3 slices. When you come to the guanciale, you got on the one side, you've got the skin. This gets chewy, so you want to cut it off. And in the other side, you tend to have pepper and salt. In this case, we're going to leave it. So just the skin comes off. And then we make it into little strips. This, when cooked, they're going to be like little candies.
Yummy. Do you like candies?
I love candies.
When you start to cut it, it looks like it's getting taller.
All right, so that everything cooks kind of at the time you want it to be, these are the steps. Number 1 is the pancetta, literally a smidget of olive oil. And if you see that the guanciale is already very fat in itself, or the pancetta is very fat, you don't need it. But this is quite lean, so a little smidget of olive oil. Medium heat. And you want medium heat because you want the outside of the pancetta to be nice and crunchy, and the inside, when you take a bite, you get this explosion of flavor. So if you cook too slow, you're going to render a lot of the fat in the pan. You're going to make it really crunchy, but you're going to miss out that kind of explosive flavor effect that you want when you want to cook it, to the perfection. In the meantime, we prepare our pecorino and our parmigiano. And here we're going for an absolute mountain of both pecorino and parmigiano because, well, there is no such thing as too much. All right, you think this is enough? 2 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So here we move it about. And now we take our eggs and we make the carbonara cream. So there are different thought patterns as to how you want to use them. Usually what I do is that I just use egg yolks, 1 per person, plus an extra one. This time I want to make it a little bit more creamy and a little bit lighter, so I'm going to have 2 egg yolks and 1 full egg. Break it. All egg goes in. Second yolk. And third one. When these are nice and crispy, we just take them off. And then, absolutely optional, you can add to some of the rendered fat a little bit of acidity. I've got some Prosecco here, you can have some white wine, or just leave it if you don't have anything, but I do, so let's do it. And this will also help deglaze and pick up all the stuff that has got stuck at the bottom of the pan, which is super delicious. And now we add our asparagus. To this we add a little bit of salt and our pepper. By adding the pepper now, we allow it to get toasted and more flavor comes out. A little splash of water, you're just gonna help cook it. a little bit more evenly. And in the meantime, we've got the water boiling over here, which brings me to a very, very important point. What eggs do you use? Because ultimately these eggs are uncooked. So the majority of the eggs you buy from the supermarket is pasteurized. But sometimes you may have to cook with eggs that you don't know whether they've been pasteurized or not. So it's worth, being extra safe in doing it yourself. So the best way of doing it at home, which of course is not 100% secure, but really is the best possible thing we can do, is that you put this in bain-marie, so just over the water that is boiling for your pasta. You need to bring the mixture to 60 degrees Celsius, 60, and you need to keep it there for 3 to 5 minutes. That will do the best possible way of making sure that things like salmonella and other bacteria are killed away. If you go higher than 60, when you get to 65 and above, the egg starts coagulating, and that's when the egg starts cooking, and then you've made yourself some frittata instead of carbonara. So you need to, for this, make sure that you have a thermometer with you so that you're keeping track of the temperature. I have one of these meat thermometer. You just dip the tip. This is at 30 degrees at the moment. We're going to bring it up to temperature, and then we have to be careful not to go above. Okay, now we are at 60 Celsius. So this is where you have to be careful. So if you see it gets anything higher, take this, just put it aside, keep turning. If it drops, you take it, you put it back on, and you just do this in and out, keeping the temperature around 60. Now it's 61, take it again, you move it out. 3-5 minutes, at least you feel safe. With the pasta with the roll and boil, take it, and we add some salt. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for coming. We make easy, approachable Italian recipes. I try to make a video every week. Sometimes it doesn't happen. But everything is easy, everything is seasonal, and everything is genuinely authentic. So if you like this channel, you want to be up to date with what we're doing in the kitchen, then please, please, please subscribe. For us, it's really important to grow our subscriber count so that people get to see the videos and we have fun doing it. Oh, and by the way, we have launched together with my good friend Megan Park this really fun Get Cooking Italian inspired t-shirt. She's a fantastic designer from Glasgow. They're all kind of fun about food. This one, he says, "Buongiorno, it's pasta time." And there's a little clock with pasta. I mean, it's amazing. So if you're interested, for the summer, they're all in the link below. And if you feel like saying hello, just leave it in the comment. Now, let's get back to cooking. And the trick to make extra creamy pasta, just like you have in the restaurant, is to cook for half the time it says on the box in the boiling water, and in the other half you have to cook it in the pan, what they call risottare, which is basically a technique very similar to how in Italy we make risotto. Then we just slowly add a little bit of water at a time, and this will release all the starch, and I'll show you the magic that is going to come out of this. To make it extra creamy is basically creating an emulsion in your plate. So you make the pasta jump. Now that the pasta is done, we take it off the fire. This is super important. This next step, off the heat. And now we add our carbo crema. We mix straight away because what we want to avoid is that we want to remain creamy. We don't want it to make scrambled eggs. Add our pancetta. Final mixtures. And the ending is nothing more than just plating this fantastic carbonara with lovely seasonal asparagus into our plate. And the finishing touch, of course, some pecorino and a bit of fresh pepper. And now it's time to taste this creamy, fantastically delicious carbonara. Oh. Let's get a little bit of pancetta as well. Oh. Troppo buona. Troppo buona. Troppo buona. Super easy. So hope you enjoy. Ciao.